Greeting simplicity, money without business, an absolutely unheard, unknown term which one cannot believe. But today we have Mr. Venky Ganesan with us, the Managing Director at Menlo Ventures, who would address us on how to do business without money. Let's hear it from him. Hi sir, thank you so much for joining on our show. What is the concept of money without business?
First of all, thank you for having me, Divya. It's a real pleasure to be on your show. I'm talking about is how do you do business without money? And the idea is that people think money is a constraint for starting a business. Okay. Actually, it is finding the right product market fit. Because once you find the product market fit and you have something people want, the money will find you. You don't have to find the money.
When you look back to your career, you started with washing dishes in America to today being the managing director at Menlo Ventures. How did the story start for you?
Like many people, I came to America with a ticket and $500 in my pocket. My parents, that's all my parents could afford to send me. So I did high school in America, and then I went to college on a scholarship. And throughout high school and throughout college, I worked jobs. And the first job I had was actually in a restaurant washing dishes. And what I love about America, and what I think when I think about the story of America, is just that there's no limit to what a person can do in America, man or woman, as long as you're willing to work hard. And that's been my experience, because I was able to, from that experience, work at Microsoft as a program manager, work at McKinsey as a management consultant, then actually join a venture capital firm, and then I started a company. And the company I started, we built it from scratch to around 40 million in revenues, and we sold it to IBM for around 220 million. I'm a big believer that if you're willing to work hard, there's no limit to what you can do.
Beautiful. Coming back to our topic, money without business. So how do you explain the concept of money without business?
So I think the best way to think about it is that what I'm trying to say is don't focus on the money first, focus on the problem. Because if you're solving a real problem, first you can get money from customers. And then once you get money from customers, you can get money from investors. There's actually a lot of capital out there that is trying to chase and invest in startups. The mistake people make is they try to focus on the money first instead of the problem. The most successful businesses start by solving a problem first. So I always ask, what is the biggest problem you're solving? So let's pick an internet property people know, right? Google. The founders of Google, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, they were focused on the problem, how to find the best search engine. Because when they went to the web and they used to search, in those times it was Yahoo or Alta Vista, they would not get the best result first.
Correct.
And when they started to focus on it and they solved that problem, money came to them. Venture capitalists are chasing them.
Correct.
This is what I mean by when you solve a big problem, money will find you. Okay. But when you try to find money, you're neither going to find money nor the problem. So that's why I say focus first on the problem.
Most of the startups coming up and the way they're getting funded by venture capital. What is your message to any of the startup companies that are coming up?
My first message is, try to focus on a strong sense of purpose. Focus on culture. Because I think if you really want to build a big company, you got to get the culture and the values right, and then make sure you got the problem right. If you can do those things, then you can actually build a big company. When people don't focus on the mission, so I say, be a missionary, not a mercenary. A mercenary does something for money, a missionary does something for the mission. And if you can build that cultural DNA into every aspect of your company, you're much more likely to build a more successful company. Raising money is not success. Building an enduring company is success.
Very beautiful, and I think it's a lot of information that we've given out to people when it comes to starting your own business or accelerating your business. Is there any key point that you would want to mention out here to all the people out there looking for some motivational thought?
Yeah, and what I would say is, if you know the history of the 4-minute mile, the first person who ran a 4-minute mile was a person by the name of Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister, who's an English doctor, he ran a 4-minute mile, and until then nobody in the history of mankind had run a 4-minute mile. But the minute Roger Bannister ran it, there were 6 other people in the next 12 to 15 months who ran it. Why? How did suddenly people become fast? They didn't become fast overnight. They became fast because they knew somebody could do it. And I tell all the entrepreneurs out there, impossible is a word that is coined because no one else has done it. And what I know for sure, in having sort of seen entrepreneurship all over America, is that there are incredible entrepreneurs in India. You have to be entrepreneurial to live in India. Even to get a basic thing like a ration card, you got to be entrepreneurial in India. And so trust yourself and go for it, because it's very much possible. And if a guy who started his career washing dishes in America can be a venture capitalist, so can you.
Since you are a venture capitalist, there is a lot of chance that you would be following the Indian budget and the Indian way of working system. So what is your take in India on business terms and how it is progressing?
So I would say that in the last few years we've had some great progress in India. I think as much as the Aadhaar card, the GST, demonetization, I know there are some troubles with it, but I think long term these are very positive things that made me very bullish on India. I think this year's budget is much more focused on rural India and in helping people and farmers, but I do think that it follows a trend, and that I am more bullish and confident of India today than I've ever been.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
you.
much for giving us a beautiful insight on business.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you.